You're listening to Pro Booth Talk, education and insights for photo booth company owners.
All right, welcome to Pro Booth Talk. Wow, how
Hi.
are you?
Hi, Jason. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again.
So I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually taking a few minutes away from a vacation to record. We're currently on the Royal Caribbean Navigator.
Nice. I know we're always working, Jason. We're always we're always on the grind.
Yes. Besides recording, spend maybe an hour or so in my cabin every day, checking emails and catching up on things. But it hasn't been too bad. That's why we keep incredible staff, and also it's a slow time. We're recording this tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so there's not a whole lot of jobs the week of Thanksgiving for us.
Yeah. It'll be a nice day off, man. And your office today is pretty nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Lab thought this was my cabin, but I don't roll that fancy on a cruise now.
That's funny.
But we had our like 10-year anniversary on it. We cruise a lot, but typically we've never tried cruising like during holidays and things like that because we're with our family. But uh, when we had our 10-year anniversary, the cruise we wanted to go to, we had to do over Thanksgiving, so we did, and it was the best Thanksgiving ever. We realized that we were like detached from all the family drama and trying to figure out times and schedules and which days are going where and dealing with in-laws and siblings. So now we vacation everything.
How funny. How many days? How many days is this cruise?
7 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so tomorrow Thanksgiving is the last day. So we're at the tail end of our then all ports. We have a sea day today, sea day tomorrow, and then we're back in LA.
Nice.
So, anyways, we want to talk about. Uh, do you remember how we met?
Yes, we met at PBX. You had a booth back then. For Pro Booth Talk with, I think you were with Clay 6, 7, 8 years ago, right?
Yeah, I think I just started recording with Play. I know that when we signed up for PBX, I was recording with Tim, but by the time of PBX, I'm pretty sure Play had joined.
I think I met you and Clay. You guys were the booth. I was helping Julia's props. I was helping her sell props, and I think we were right across from you guys. So you couldn't avoid us.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring up meeting at PBX because so many people, and I feel like that's a reoccurring theme on the podcast. I think almost every episode is a networking at PBX episode uh, in some capacity. But so many of the people we've had guest host or that we talk about, that we go on vacations with, we met through PBX. So we wanted to do a complete separate episode on how important it is
So
to
huge.
network and enjoy your time at PBX outside of the sessions and outside of the showrooms. There's so much going on, and you have to participate.
You have to. You have to. And the funny thing is, like, you don't even realize what a huge deal it is. Like, I know we talk about it a lot, but man, in hindsight, I am very lucky that I'm so social that I didn't know that it was networking. I just thought I was making friends. And I remember, Jason, do you remember we were in like a lounge and me and Julia like walked up to you? You were sitting in like a booth all by yourself, and we're like, we're just gonna sit down and hang. And you were looking at us like, what? Do you
I don't
remember
know. I
that?
don't think I remember.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
were.
think so. I was
You.
probably very uncomfortable.
Yeah, you were, and you were just like, "Who are you guys? Like, who are you?" And it's so funny because, like, years later, we've done so many PBXs together. We've hung out, and you don't, you don't realize that, like, these parties. When I attended PBX, I just thought we were partying. I just thought we're out hanging out, and you don't realize you're making life. I feel like we're lifelong friends with a lot of people in our industry from that first
Yeah,
PBX that we
definitely.
went to. Yeah, the connections that we made. I mean, like I remember Michael Kuntz. I remember a few. Michael Kuntz stands out because he's so tall. But remember, they had like a after party at that really fancy hotel, Cosmopolitan. It's a
That
really
is fancy.
nice.
I don't think I went to that after party, but Cosmo is a very fancy
Yeah,
hotel.
they had like
Very
they
schmoozy.
had a after party at Cosmopolitan, and we were all in the patio, and you just spend hours and hours with people that you've never. I remember, gosh, someone from Maryland. I can't remember her name right now. Belle from Maryland. Like she was one of the first people I met too. Just out while you're at the after party, and you develop such great relationships, and they end up saving you for a lot of things through the years that you never you end up calling them for like help with things, advice. And I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
Besides, besides friendships, I mean, there is a lot of value to your business as well from advice. Like if I have some kind of concern, I don't go to the Facebook groups. I go to like I know who's good at certain things, so I could just go straight to the source and not just kind of shotgun the form and hope
Yeah,
somebody answers. Especially because a lot of the people that specialize in certain areas don't really spend too much time in the forums anymore because they've answered those questions so many times already.
yeah,
You know, you just go straight to like if I've got a problem question about coding, I'm gonna call Mitch. Uh, if I have some questions about AI, recently learned that Jason Cage is incredible with AI. So I know, and not like AI graphics, but AI is like systems and chat and things like that. Uh, is- so everyone has their own skill sets, and as far as a financial benefit, there's that. I've also met so many people that I now white label for, so there's been a massive income increase in my business from that networking.
absolutely. But these all stem from friendships. Like the reason why, if
Yeah,
anybody's listening and you're wondering, like, how do you know Mitch is good for coding? You don't just know that. He didn't just throw that out there. You develop these relationships. You have off the board. You have conversations off the board. You have private conversations with a lot of people one on one. Sometimes it's groups of people, and you get to know people on a real level. You learn like what their real strengths are. So there's no, when you're talking about like people who reach out and white label you, they don't reach out and white label you just because you're in Vegas. Like they know what you guys are capable of. They don't even ask for your work. It's not even a question of like, are you capable? It's just like, hey, I have this event, this date. Are you guys available? Because they already know you, your team, they already trust you. And that takes time. That takes time to build up that type of relationship. So there's a lot of like one-on-one conversations that you have with people through the years.
yeah. People definitely are going to hire the people that they know and trust. I did and I think I mentioned this on the show previously, but I did a job in Georgia this last year, and I have a couple of people in the industry that I really trust that recommended people to me. But they're people I had never met before, and I knew Monica. I knew she was in Atlanta. I'd never worked with her before, but we hung out at PBX and stuff. So I called Monica up and said, "Hey, can you come and help with this event?" Because it's the one that I knew and liked and trusted already. Instead of just, I mean, a recommendation is certainly that has a lot of value, especially from people that you trust, but not as much as your own experience.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
but also there's like secondary recommendations, and not even so much like monetary value, but just like help. A really great example is I don't know her last name. I'm sorry, but Inez. I think she's from Texas. I don't know for sure because I haven't met her. But like she reached out to Min because she needed some sharing stations here in LA. And Min was like, hey, Lap bought these sharing stations from me. Reach out to her. She might be available. And I was able to help her with a sharing station for her event. So that saved her, the time of like having to transport a whole sharing station from, where she's from. I didn't get to chat with her because it was during busy October and my team met up with her. So I haven't met her in person, but that's a really great example of like just not necessarily that I know Inez personally, but the connections that you make, they refer you out to people for, helping others, but also for business growth. Like you get opportunity from these referrals from referrals too. And that's something I never
Yeah.
anticipated. Yeah. So many benefits.
So the biggest takeaway here is network. Like, get out of your comfort zone. Trust when I say that I am really awkward in social settings. It's not my area at all, but I know its value. Uh, so like, get out there. People invite you to go to dinner, even if it's someplace you've already been, or a show you've already seen, or you already did Fremont Street. Like, just go.
Yeah.
Like, the worst thing that could happen is you don't have a great time and you just go back, or you find someone else to hang out with.
That never happens though. That never happens though. I mean, there's so many of us that you're always going to have a great time no matter. And there's not even that, but there's just so much to do, you know? Like there's one party after the other. So you can jump from party to party. And one
Mhm.
of the things that I want to bring up, because I think I talked about this before, like I know I come off very social, but I get like a lot of like I get very anxious at the idea of like going to things that I'm not familiar with, like it's outside my comfort zone. So going to my first PBX, I was not for it. I don't know if I brought it up before, but I was not up for it. Like I had to have a few people like push me and continuously like, hey Lap, are you going? Are you? And it wasn't until like the last minute because I drive into Vegas. So it's easy for me to just make a decision the day of. But I had people push me to go, and the idea scared me so much because you just assume everybody knows each other, especially now that what year are we in? Like the ninth year, the 10th year of
No, this is the
PBX?
10th year. We just talked to Rob. It's the 10-year
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah. So if you're like new to the industry and you see, I mean, I feel like on the boards, it's very obvious, like a lot of us know each other from attending PBX every year. So I'm sure like if you're new, it's intimidating the idea of like going for the first time and you probably don't know anybody. Just come. Don't even hesitate because you'll make friends as soon as you step into as soon as you go into the checkout, like what's it called, the registration. You already see everybody with the badges, and they're gonna talk to you. You're gonna talk to them, and you're gonna make friends like instantly, like quick. You know,
Hmm.
don't even hesitate. Like you need to be at PBX. You need to be meeting people. You need to be networking because it really can make or break or catapult your career, your business.
Yeah, even 10 years in now, Larry is one of my favorite PBX people, and I just met him 2 years ago.
No
So,
way!
it's always funny when two people, like I was talking to, I think it was Jeff and Matthew last year, and in the middle of our conversation, they introduced themselves to each other, and I was just like, you guys have never met?
Yeah, that happened. That happened with us and Jeff, me and Jeff.
Maybe it was you and Jeff that I'm thinking of,
Yeah, on the
but
cruise.
that just blows my mind that these, you know, people, people certainly know each other, but we're all still meeting people for the first time.
Yeah, yeah. So the cruise is
Even
a
like Jeff and Lap
yeah, yeah,
have both been in the industry for like 10 years plus each,
yeah. And
and
we
both
know,
of you had never met.
yeah, yeah, but we know,
Running in the same
yeah,
circles and
yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's wild. Like we know of each other, but we never actually like officially met or even like had a real like not even like a chat conversation or anything like that. But um, that's another crazy example because me and Jeff met on a cruise that our industry, like people in the industry that all knew each other, like we were invited to, and a lot of us met a lot of each other there for the first time. Like Jeff was one of them. There was somebody else that I had never met that was there too. I'm trying to remember his name. I'm sorry, I can't. I was MIA at that cruise, guys. So do you know what I'm talking about? He's like, I can't remember his name right now. Damn. He had a new baby.
uh,
His baby was like fell ill like shortly after. He's young,
um,
just like a newborn. He had a newborn kiddo.
yeah, that was. Oh man, his name is escaping me now for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Terrence.
Yes, Terrence Snow. So that was the first time
Yeah.
I ever met Terrence Snow as well. And, it was just networking that led to the cruise, and then the cruise led to more networking. So it's like just this cycle that just continues to grow every single year. Every year you go back, you meet the people you already know, and then you meet the people they know, and your network just continues to grow and your opportunity grows with that as well. Yeah.
So, well, I think it's 2 years ago. Maybe it's last year. I think it's 2 years ago. Someone at the Photo Booth Masters White did a keynote on white labeling. It may have been last year. I can't remember. Not
That was
important.
yeah, that was me. Not important. That was me and Billy and
No, like I said, no, not important. Yeah. So 2 years ago, Laugh did
calm down.
a thing, a panel on white labeling
You
with a
guys,
group of
I'm not
all
a
other amazing people.
oh my gosh, you guys, I'm not a great public speaker. So if I did terribly, which I probably did, I apologize. I promise I know what I'm talking about with white labeling. I don't know if I presented that well. I'm sorry. I hopefully
Oh, you
the
did
next time
great.
I do.
Everyone has told you you've done great. You know you did.
No, I don't.
But what's funny about that is after that, it hit home with so many people that unfortunately a lot of people that I met after that would say, "Hey, I'm so and so. Yeah, so if you ever need a white labeler in Detroit, here's my card." And like
Yeah.
that's not what it's about. Like go back to our episode on networking. Like don't we're there to meet people. Like the business will come naturally if it comes naturally, but I'm never going to have use you for white labeling because you gave me your business card.
Yeah, I wish that we covered that when we are up on the panel because I feel like
Well, it wasn't a thing until afterwards that
no, but
the panel created that.
yeah, but I feel like that is something that we probably should have discussed because it's kind of like similar to when you go to a networking event, you just start passing out cards to everybody. Like nobody's gonna remember you.
Yeah.
You just a faceless person that's like pumping out cards, and you don't make that impression. And white labeling relies heavily on like strong because you white labeling relies heavily on like strong relationships because I mean, we haven't done a episode on white labeling. We definitely should.
No, it's coming.
Yeah, we
It's
definitely.
coming.
Yeah.
But networking, like we've discussed in several episodes, it's about relationships, not business. The business comes secondary to the
Yeah.
relationships,
Yeah.
100% of the time.
Yeah, and I'm definitely a testament to that because I don't come from, the business world, so I had no idea that what I was doing was networking. I just was very social and just making friends and just having a great time. Sometimes a little bit too much of a great time, and it helped my business grow tremendously over the last 8 years or 7 years, 9 years. I think I went up to the second one, so and it was unexpected for
Yeah.
me, but it was all very what do you call that, just very natural. Like it was just you make those relationships, you build those friendships, and then opportunity just it makes itself. Of course it's not just about networking because you also have to have your business in the right you have to be in the right mindset as well. You can't just be out there networking and then you don't really have the capability of like delivering. White labeling is one of the hardest things to do, and you can't just build relationships and not actually know what you're doing, not know camera settings and things like that. Like you,
But that's one of the reasons you want to build those relationships, I guess, is
yeah,
so that when that person needs a white labeler down the road, you'll be ready, or that maybe they'll help you get ready. You can ask
that's
them
true.
questions as or whatnot. But if you invite someone to lunch and then you pull out some brochures and a business card, like seriously, no one wants to be on the other side of that table with you. So don't do that.
Yeah, there's the funny thing is there's advice like online that tells you like, oh, schedule a meeting with someone, bring your like resume finder. And so I followed these directions in the early
Uh,
years. I know, gosh, Jason, that sigh was so huge. Because I'm telling you, I didn't come from the business side. I mean, I was like a salesperson on the sales floor. So like networking, all of that was completely new. So all I had was these guides on like Wedding Wire or whatever, and they tell you like meet with the planner, like schedule in a meeting and like show up with all your work. And oh my God, guys, do not do that. The planner was so annoyed. Planner was so annoyed, never wanted to do events with me after. And then like when she
yeah.
sees me now, it's just awkward. Like to this day, I have not been able to like, like go beyond that memory that she has of me. So definitely do not not all advice that you see online is good advice.
Unless it comes from Lap and I, then
Yeah,
take
yeah,
it to the bank.
that's something different. That's funny.
But yeah, just let it come natural. Like let's see, last year, trying to think if I met. What's the guy's name? It's one of the two guys that owns Check Cherry. I can't remember his name now. But we were at one of the PBX parties and said a few words to each other on the dance floor, just laughing at something. Took some photo booth photos, and then when I left, I saw him at the bar, so I went in and sat down by him. And there's another boother from Vegas that they had met but never really got to hang out with before, and she was there with us. And there's like just three or four of us, and I had never met him, but we ended up drinking and talking till like 5 a.m. Learning
What?
about each other's business and just like those opportunities are just really
Priceless.
great.
Yeah.
So yes, so join the conversations. Don't feel like you're not invited. Like we had a group of like three or four people, and all night long, someone would just pop in
Just
and
go sit
introduce
down.
themselves and
Yeah.
stay for a few minutes, uh, or else announce yourself if you're really worried about meeting somebody, if you don't want to interrupt someone's conversation, you feel awkward, just post in one of our groups, hey, I'm going down to grab a lunch at the buffet or the cafe. Does anyone want to join me? And also, if you're ever in lunch at in line at the cafe, always try and get a table that has two or three extra seats because
Yeah.
there's a good chance someone will just see a group of boothers in there and pop in and sit down, order a
Yeah.
drink or something.
Yeah, but do not
But
be shy. Like, don't be shy. You see a group of people, you don't know anybody at the table. You see everybody has badges, walk over there, introduce yourself. I've never experienced anybody that has been like, no, you can't sit with us. Like, I've never had that experience ever. Even I brought it up before my first PBX. Like, I was waiting for Julia for a Uber to take us to the after party at Cosmopolitan. And there's all these boothers that were already waiting for a lift. They see I have a badge and they're like, "Are you going to the app?" Yeah, I'm waiting for the Uber. Just jump in with us. We didn't even have to pull our own Uber. I never met any of these people, and now I've been friends with these people for 8 9 years.
yes, so everything so far that we've talked about has been pretty much just grabbing drinks or grabbing lunch, uh, sitting down at a blackjack table with someone, whatever. Very, very casual engagements. But of course, there's official parties and things like that. So where are you going to find the official stuff? Of course, those will all be in the show guide. I know he does like two parties typically. Photo Booth Masters will have an award ceremony. That's unofficial, but kind of everyone's welcome to it.
Yeah.
So official parties are in that. Uh, then you're going to have a lot of like semi-private like appreciation events with uh for example
Some of
like
the
Photomaster
manufacturers.
may have, yeah, exactly, they'll have a party just for their owners. And so the Facebook groups will usually post those. They'll usually send out emails to their members and also stop by their showroom floor and ask if
And
there's
meet them.
any
Yeah.
yeah.
Photo Booth Supply
uh
did like amazing one at the selfie. I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but they did an awesome one at the selfie booth museum the one
yeah, I
year
think
that
I'm
was.
not a yeah, I don't use their equipment, so I didn't participate, but I heard a lot about it. So it's great also because it creates some of that FOMO because you're not allowed to go to all of those if it's a private event from say Photo Masters or something like that.
Yeah, but if you can, if possible, like make sure you are in the know, like talk to people, and there's usually something going on every single night. You want to be at these events. You want to be in the know, even if you don't know anybody, because you'll usually know everybody by the end of the night. And then I just drew a blank.
That's all right. So and then there's lots of unofficial events. A lot of people. One year I put together a part. I rented a suite and had a party up there, and I just posted it in the groups. A couple years, the last 2 years, I've had an unofficial get together on Monday's Dark. I invited whoever wants to join, and we've always had a group come out. Last year, I had a gathering at my office. A lot of people will be posting like random I think Chris Myers rented an Airbnb once and had a party. So and those are all just going to be word of
Yeah.
mouth. Sometimes they'll be posted in groups, but
We always do
just that's
karaoke. If you find out where what the karaoke night is, you got to go to that. Those are big. Those are fun.
yeah. I guess that was kind of a collab of you and Erica last year.
It
Is that
was
right?
a few of us, yeah. So I mean that was an amazing event. Like we had, invited folks, and we had like a taco cart in the back, and then we had karaoke. So even if you didn't even if you weren't into karaoke, there was like a bar, there was I didn't go to the back because I was in the front karaoke, even though I'm terrible at it.
Yeah. It was really fun though. I hate karaoke. I don't sing, but it was one of the funnest
Yeah.
nights. And Erica, just a testament to PBX. Like Erica and I met on that cruise, but I just saw her here and there. We had dinner. We didn't really talk. I didn't really get to actually hang out with her until PBX, and I only hung out with her because I was like, "Hey, I just met you
Yeah.
on a cruise, so I know you." But she is such an awesome person. Uh, and that uh, karaoke, that karaoke
I don't
was really great. She's one hell of a
Yeah,
karaoke
yeah,
host.
it was a fun night.
So one other way that you can find these events, Lap and I have talked to Rob and have volunteered to put together the first semi-official group chat slash schedule that will house official and unofficial gatherings. So we're going to have a group me chat. So you'll want to download the app Group Me. There's a past one that was put together by Min. I imagine that will still be active as well. If you're already in that one, or if you're not, you can talk to Min and join. But certainly join ours. I think Rob said he will have a QR in the
Yeah.
show guide. In addition, you can just go to proboothtalk.com/links, or there's also a link directly if you go to proboothtalk.com. There's a link in the top links there for the PBX chat plus calendar. So it will be, for those of you that are not familiar with GroupMe, it's kind of like, I don't know, like a mass chat application like WhatsApp. So it'll be a group. Everyone will be in there. It can get very loud. I imagine you will want to silence it when you go to sleep at night because people will be
Awake until 4
like
a.m.
making plans and meeting up. Yeah. Yeah. And then when you turn it back on in the morning, you'll see that you missed like 200
If
messages
it's
or
your first
something.
time at PBX, I mean, just plan to be out. It is not a crazy thought to be out until 4 o'clock in the morning. Most everybody is going to be out as late as possible, as late as their body can handle. So it's not out of the question for you to be up having one of those $4 steaks at 4 o'clock in the morning at the cafe because it's so commonplace for PBX. And you really want to be out there. You really want to be out there talking to everybody, meeting everybody, networking. I know sometimes sometimes you feel like this urge to go sleep, but you really are. This is only what, 4 days out of the year. Like, it's okay if you don't sleep those 4 days.
I feel like we're bordering unhealthy advice.
Your business Your business will thank you. Believe me. Yeah, like and the other thing that I can't stress enough is like try not to just stay in your it's very easy for a lot of us to like be in your comfort zone of just like hanging out with the same people. And I know I'm guilty of it too, like where you just hang out with the same people and you do all the events with the same people. Like try to go out and like reach out to people that you haven't met. If you see someone sitting there that, sitting alone, walk over there and talk to them because you never know, what comes of it. That's what happened with Jason when we saw him sitting in the booth by himself.
Yeah. And look what's become of it. I'm so bad at meeting people. That's one of the reasons I initially started doing the podcast so that people would know me and come and
Yeah.
talk to me.
That's why.
Take that responsibility
Yeah,
off of
but
me.
you know everybody though. Like last year I tapped out early and I was, my team was out there partying and networking with your team actually, and like I kept seeing photos of you and the team and I'm like, man, Jason is like, where's Jason now? Like Jason's everywhere. So if you see him, make sure you meet him because if you know Jason, you know everybody.
Oh, whatever.
Funny.
We just know different people is all. So definitely join that group me chat. You're welcome to go join it now. There won't be any activity, but you can join it so you don't forget. We have not. Hopefully, we have activities planned or marked in it by the time this is posted, but we don't have any now because Rob hasn't posted the official uh,
Yeah.
schedule yet. But we are going to spend some time and put all the sessions and when the room opens, the showroom opens. We're going to put the parties. There's also a poker game. If you like poker, or even if you don't like poker, it's not too expensive. And a lot of people that play in it have never played before, so it's very friendly and very casual, and it's just a cool place to just sit at a table for an hour and talk with other people. So it's an official PBX poker tournament, and that's always fun. They always have it's hard to say, at least 100 people playing. I'd say
Wow.
it's a good
And
tournament.
even, I'm not a poker player, but this last year I went to like cheer on the friends that was there. That's really cool too. Like just watch. I never knew how exciting it is to actually
Hmm.
watch like a poker game. So go support your friends too, and then you'll be able to sit there and hang out with other boothers that are just like bystanders watching the game, cheering their friends on. So that's really cool. That was really cool for me too. I'm not a poker player, I'm not a gambler, but I still enjoyed being there and like, you know.
Well, I am a poker player, so I have to interject that poker is a skill game, not a gambling game. Such but no, I'm not much of a gambler, but I do play poker. I'll be playing.
Do you play every year, Jason? Have you
I have
yeah.
played every year. I have never placed at PBX. Funny enough, I don't play poker at home. I play in a couple charity tournaments every year, and I have won a handful of those, but I've never won the PBX. Uh, but oddly, like I guess just like people when they go to Vegas and gamble, I only really gamble when I'm on vacation myself. Like that's one of the most constant places you can find me on the cruise ship is at the poker table. I play lots of poker while I'm on cruises, but I don't play at all when I'm at home. In
That's so
fact,
ironic.
if anyone plays, it's weird. Like the only poker I play at home is on my MetaQuest. Like I play the Poker Stars Vegas Virtual Vegas or
How
whatever Vegas
funny.
Infinite. If you yeah, if you play poker on there, come and find me. I'm on
Not
there
at the
almost
actual
every day.
casinos there.
But yes, yeah. So. And when I talk to people on there, they're always like, "What are you doing on here? You should be playing at a regular casino." I don't go to casinos. I've had my fill of casinos, but anyways, back to the chat. So, in addition to all the official stuff, uh, we're going to any kind of uh, party that's being hosted by Photo Masters or something. We'll post those as well, but we'll mark them that they are invite only or private or something. If you are having a get together and you want us to post it, reach
Message
out to us, and
us.
we will be happy to include your party, your get together, your gathering in this app so everyone else can see it. And I think that pretty much covers the chat. So it'll be a chat, and it'll have a calendar of events, both official and
Yeah.
unofficial. Pretty pretty
Yeah, we'll
basic.
try to update it as frequent as possible because I know sometimes, like even at PBX, there's plans being made sometimes. So if we hear about it, we'll make sure we post it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like this is like a volunteer thing, and like don't come at us if your event's
Yeah,
not listed. If you told us about it during
yeah,
PBX, because we're
yeah,
there having a good time too.
and not sleeping just like you.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so in my list here, I kind of feel like we've covered this. How do you approach people in their working event without feeling awkward? I mean, the biggest thing is just say hi. You can ask them if they're here for the expo. Also,
When you're in the elevator, talk to people you see with badges. Everybody will talk. Everybody's
yeah.
open to have a conversation with you. Like I see people blocking doorways because they just randomly run into people and get caught. Like don't be shy. Do not spend time in your room. You should not be in your room more than 2 hours. You should not be in your room. most of the time. Like I know some of us, head back to the room to like get some work done, but whenever possible, you should be out and about. Anywhere but your room.
Yeah, and whatever you do, try to do it with
Yeah.
somebody. If you're going to get a drink or eat or
Invite somebody.
whatever, even if you want to hit the
Yeah.
blackjack table, like someone will come
Yeah.
and
Or
play with
if
you.
nobody comes and plays with you, you see someone at the table, walk over, introduce yourself, and then start following them
Yeah,
around. Because that's what I do. I'm not a gambler, so I'm not playing on the table, but I'll still follow somebody around.
yeah. So just watch for those
Yeah.
badges, and
They're everywhere.
I guess another thing you could watch for that we will announce. I guess right now I'll make it official, so hopefully we follow through. Uh, every year we hear people mention, "Oh, that's what you look like in real life." Everyone is just always so familiar with the
The
Facebook
avatar.
profiles because that's how we've got to know each other. So Laugh and I decided that this year, in an effort to promote Pro Booth Talk, we are going to make buttons uh, for anyone that requests them at no charge. We'll have in the same place where you sign up for the photo booth group, we'll have a link that says request a button or something like that. And it'll go to a short form with your name and a link to your Facebook profile. We'll grab that and we'll put it on a button that you could attach to your lanyard. It'll have your Facebook profile, so everyone that just knows you by your Facebook profile will instantly recognize you. And then, of course, on the side of that, we'll have QR that goes back to our own link tree that has the chat and where you can find more about COVID Doc and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So we will be uh, promoting ourselves in exchange for free buttons. So sign up for that button, get your face on your profile picture on a button, and slap that on your lanyard. So anyone that has one of those or has a PBX badge, just say hi to them. Like they're there for the same reason you are. Literally, like no one's going to PBX because they don't
Yeah.
want to meet people.
Even if they act like they don't want to meet people, they do.
Like me.
Yeah, we were adamant about talking to Jason, even if he was not wanting to talk to us. And everybody's there for a
Yeah.
reason. Some people just have different comfort levels. Like some people are going to seem very outgoing, some people are going to be more introverted, and that's okay. But everybody wants to meet people while they're there, so don't be shy.
So how can you connect with people or make plans to connect with people before the show,
There's
Lap?
like you can reach out through Messenger. Reach out and be like, "Hey, are you going to PBX? And what are you planning to check out?" Like a lot of conversation that people have with me is like, which speaker are you planning to attend? And like, can we meet up for lunch? Can we have a drink? Can I buy you a drink? Like make that effort in advance. And even if you have never met them or you don't know them and you really want to meet them, I mean, like, you can always reach out and just be like, hey, like, can we connect while we're there? Like, I know, Jason, you reached out one time when you were bringing your team. I think for the first time, you're like, hey, like, I want my team to, like, meet your team. Remember that? I think that was you. Maybe it
Sure.
was somebody else, but I thought it was you. But it was like, like my team's going to be there. Like, I really want them to meet, like, some of the owners and, don't hesitate. Like message people. If you have never met them before, make sure you introduce yourself, like beforehand. Like that I made a lot of connections with people that messaged me in advance. Yeah.
And you can just post publicly
Yeah,
too if
yeah.
you go to your favorite Facebook group and say, "Hey, I'm flying in on Saturday. Who
Yeah.
else is flying in on Saturday?" or anything like that. Or it's
A lot
the chat
Yeah,
group you
a
could
lot of
post
people
in
come in
there.
on Sunday, and there's technically not, well, before there was
Mhm.
not a lot. Now there's a lot of things going on Sundays, but
Yeah, the Photo
yeah.
Booth Masters is on Sundays, so now it's
Yeah,
a
it
bigger
wasn't
day
like that
now.
before. A lot of people just came in on Sunday just to settle in. So like it's great to like post on there, hey, like I'm planning to stop at and eat here. Anybody that wants to meet me, come meet me Sunday. I'll be there at 3. So yeah, posting it. I've never done that, but I know that has never been an issue for anybody. Like when they post, people will show up.
Yeah, so it's not officially part of PBX. The Boostmaster Award Show is Sunday night. It's open to everybody. So I recommend trying to make that. It's a good way to start the expo. A lot of
Yeah,
people there. Last year they had food and
wow, I
drinks.
didn't know
So
that. I've never come in on Sunday, so I think I have to go this time on Sunday. Yeah, first time.
yeah, plus it's photo booth marketing, and they put together a really fun event. Like their whole shtick is marketing,
Yeah.
so they've got to do something fun, and they
And
always
their
deliver.
members are
So,
serious about like, pursuing the business and like growing and stuff. So the people that you meet that participate in that are members, they're great connections.
mhm. uh, let's see. Should I bring business cards? We kind of went over that. Yeah, you definitely need business cards, especially like on the showroom floor. A lot of places will have like drop your business card in for a chance to win, sort of things.
Why I don't learn my lesson. I do not bring business cards, and people are getting printers,
No.
photo booths. They're winning all it, and I'm like, all I had to do was bring a business card. Dang.
Yeah, but don't give me your business. I promise, with the best intentions, I will likely throw it away. But friend me on Facebook
Yeah,
or something like that, and
yeah,
we'll connect. Let's see. Already mentioned the buttons that we will be producing for people. What else is there? Did we cover everything? I think we kind of did. I mean, it's a lot of repeated information, but like seriously, unless it's a session that I'm really looking forward to, or someone I really want to go and support. If someone mentions who wants to go to lunch and there's sessions going on, I will almost always choose to go hang out with a bunch of people before over going to a session, because the value is
yeah,
just, it's not really
yeah.
comparable.
I feel like people who are new to networking don't understand exactly what that means, and it's hard to convey how these relationships matter. But just trust that they do. Even if you're not intentionally networking and you just happen to be talking to people like I was. I mean, it doesn't happen immediately. I feel like that's something that I can't stress enough. Like some people think like you like meet somebody and then boom, you're gonna right away make business. Not really how networking works. It takes like real relationship building, and sometimes it takes like a few months, sometimes it takes a few years, and sometimes when I've been at PBX, I've met somebody and right away I have an event like the week after meeting them. So
Yeah, and a lot of times, like Larry and Mitch and Monica. Like, there's a lot of people that I've met that I've never got business from, and I likely will never get business from, but I still have got an immense amount of value that has made myself and my company
abs-
better overall. So it's not always
yeah.
a direct
Absolutely.
monetary
Well,
value.
it's not direct, but it does impact your money in the end because you are able to grow and you
Mhm.
you acquire knowledge that you wouldn't otherwise have had without that meeting. So I mean I bring up the events and monetary because I know that's the first thing people think about when they think about networking, but it goes beyond that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but again, if that's your mindset, then you're doing it. Just you have to enter with the mindset of
Yes.
relationships.
Yes. And it's equal.
Yeah.
I always
So.
bring this up from Catalina's speech from years ago. Like it's an equal exchange of energy. So if you are just coming at somebody and you're just trying to suck information from them and suck knowledge from them, and you don't bring anything, it's not an equal relationship. That's not gonna last very long. Like most of us do not want. I don't even know. Is it like energy vampires where like they just I don't want to be negative, you guys. I'm just being very realistic. Like anybody that you have a relationship with, it has to be you have to put equal weight into it. Like if you're literally the only one that's benefiting from the relationship, not even money wise, but like knowledge wise, if you have nothing to bring to the table, you really should assess the type of relationships you're building with people because those relationships are not going to benefit you if you literally are just asking for like an encyclopedia of information from them and you have nothing to bring yourself. So make sure you bring value.
Side note, do you or have you watched What We Do in Shadows? I think that's what it's called. So the name is kind of slipping my mind right now, but it's like a very tongue-in-cheek vampire werewolf show, but it's almost like a real world in a house with a bunch of vampires that live together. But one of the vampires in there is an energy
Oh,
vampire, and you just mentioned that. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, If you haven't seen it, watch an episode. It is an energy vampire is the most. It's the most hilarious thing on the show. So check it out.
That's funny.
What we do in shadows, I think it's post called.
But yeah, I mean, like, bring value to like the people that you meet, you know, like if you maybe you're new, you don't have a lot of knowledge, but you can bring, all of us have something of value. So if you are withholding your own knowledge, but you're sucking other people's knowledge, like they're not gonna want to build a relationship with you. And sadly I've experienced that, and that's the reason why I bring it up, is like there's some people who just are very protective of like the of what they know. And I know in our industry there's certain things that you are going to be, you know, protective and you know, keep within your company. But you know, like knowledge about like understanding networking, like that's kind of common knowledge, and sometimes you might be able to add just a little piece of like a little nugget that maybe the way you word it is a little bit different. That is valuable to people, you know. There's not any reason for you to withhold stuff like that if you are gaining from the relationship you have from somebody else, you know, like bring something to the table. Yeah.
Well, with that, well, I think we were going to try and put together some kind of gathering and announce it today, but we didn't ever
Yeah,
talk about it. So
it'll be a last minute thing.
I guess it'll be on the app. It'll be
It'll be
on
a
the
last
app.
minute thing.
But it's not going to be anything big. Yeah, it'll be like show up at the Silverado Lounge or something like that, and you know just get some drinks and meet some other booter type of activity, and maybe we'll be handing out the buttons there or something.
We'll
But
figure it out.
we'll figure it out, and it'll be
It'll be on the app.
on
So
the chat. What's it called? Yeah. So group me chat. Follow that link. Join our group. Watch for updates, and we'll see you at
thanks,
PBX.
guys.
To keep the conversation going, join our Facebook group, Pro Booth Talk Community. If you enjoyed this podcast, consider showing your support by subscribing, liking, reviewing, or sharing this topic with someone in the industry.